It's Valentine! What's up, guys? Welcome to the Keith and Valentine Show. Today I'm joined by the legend himself, Mr. Noah Sorensen, #1 dish sales rep. Are you #1 all time as well, or
tied
tied?
all time? Yeah.
This
Yeah.
year you'll be #1.
Oh,
All
100%.
time.
Yeah, that is one of the goals.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I don't know if you want to introduce yourself to everybody just so they can kind of get a little bit of background, but you can tell us where you're from, how you got into door to door, and just like your overall experience with doing it.
Yeah. My name's Noah. Some people call me Big Time. I got into door to door back in 2016, and share a quick story because I like sharing this story. But I was in a call center actually doing Dish and Direct TV. Just over the phones, and I was working with one of my mates there, and he was going out on a blitz with Direct TV, and he was telling me, I remember word for word, it always strikes home, but he told me, he's like, dude, come out. And I was like, I don't know about that. And he said, what's the worst thing that can happen? You make money. And I had sat there and thought a second, and I was like, okay, I mean, I'll just go try it out. Went, tried Direct TV, did 20 my first week, and instantly clicked, and I was like, okay, this is awesome. I really figured I've always loved talking to people, and it's been easy to be able to talk to people, so I was like, okay, if this is just talking, I can probably do that.
Yeah.
So went out and had that first experience with the blitz, and I was immediately sold. Just culture, everything really sold me on that.
Gotcha. When you say the culture sold you, what do you mean by that?
Oh, dude, the sales bros.
Sales bros? Love the sales bros.
Yeah, it was just an awesome experience being with a ton of dudes like-minded that are just stinking hungry.
Yeah.
Just, you're not around that much, but people in the door-to-door industry, they are another breed. That's for sure.
That is facts. That's kind of what sold me too. I love that.
Yep.
Well, cool. So take us back. So you did that blitz, and this is probably in the spring, I'm imagining.
Right before summer, yeah.
Right before summer.
Mm-hmm.
And then you just like drop all your plans. Like, did you have plans for the summer at the time that you had to change in order to do it?
No, I was mostly just a go with the flow kind of guy.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was like, I mean, what's the worst that can happen, right? So I dedicated myself for a summer. I went to Kansas that year, and yeah, I did the full summer, did 170 accounts, and yeah, I was sold on it, man.
Nice. Well, during that first year, was there any like big lessons that you remember learning?
Great question. Big lessons I've learned first year was power of influence. That a lot of what you say and body language and everything can really be used to sell people. And that was one of the big things I love training on and just reading into is body language. And it's got powers to it for sure. But yeah, I've always loved expressing myself through dance or anything like that. So that was a big thing for me too, is just being able to get my point across with body language. That was a huge lesson first year.
Dude, I want to get into that, like body language hacks and everything. Some of your favorites.
Yeah.
One more question, kind of leading into it, but I mean, you've been #1 rep the last 2 years, right, back to back. When did it come into your mind? When did you start to believe like, okay, maybe I could actually be #1 rep? Like, when did that belief start to come for you?
Dude, there's a lot of things that added up into it. This is going on my 7th summer now, but there was a lot of my leaders throughout the years, like my mentors and managers, they were always top reps. So I always had a leader to look up to that was doing a ton of accounts. And I was always in top offices. And when I came back to Caliber a few years ago, I remember just meeting with Mark, and he didn't really know who I was or anything too, and nobody in the company knew who I was because I left for a while. And he was just freaking pumping me up mostly. He was just like, dude, you got some competition. And he didn't know what I could do.
Mm.
I was like a normal 300 account rep kind of guy. I didn't know what anybody else could do either here. But I told myself in that situation was like, why not? Why isn't it my time? I've had all these experiences with awesome trainers and they've taught me so much. It's my time.
Mm.
So I just kept telling myself, like, I know I'm going to be top rep. And I just believed it. I was like, there's nothing that's going to get in my way. And when Mark was hyping me up about these guys, I was like, I don't even need to know what numbers they do. I just know I'll do more than them.
Yeah.
So,
It's the competition.
Yeah, and I'm a super competitive guy, but that's all I thought about that going into that year was I want to make some noise.
Mm-hmm.
I know nobody knows me. I don't know anybody else, but I just want to come out of nowhere and just really surprise people. And that really helped me get the lead too.
So when you decided or you started to believe, like, I can actually do this, I can be top rep, it is my time, what was the differentiating factor? Like, what were some of the habits and things that you started to change in your daily efforts or just things that you started doing that maybe you weren't doing before?
Dude, there's so many things I wasn't doing when I first started this. But it's funny because obviously these top dog leaders that I had, they tell me these little things of what to do to be one of the best. And I was go with the flow. I was like, whatever, man, I'm just going to go out and work. But these past couple years have really dialed into like reading, working the hours. That's huge. And
what do you mean by working the hours? Maybe elaborate on that.
Dude, when I first started, I was one of those guys that was like, okay, I'm going to go out 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock. I'm going to take a lunch break. I'm going to get off at like 6 or 7. I was working puny hours. And I realized throughout the years, I was like, dude, I don't need a lunch. I want to get out there first. I like the feeling of being first on the board. And working the hours really obviously changed the game because it's a numbers game.
Mm-hmm.
The more people you talk to, the more people you'll sell. And once that clicked, I was like, oh, okay, well, you figure out your numbers you can do each day. I figured mine's always, I'll do minimum 5.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always thought about that as like, as long as I go work the hours, there's no chance I will not get 5.
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what dialed me into goals and everything too, is just obviously working the hours.
Mm-hmm.
Helps a ton.
Yeah, oh, I bet. And that's true principle for all the new reps that are coming out is like, dude, if you just work the hours, you get out there and you work hard, like it is pretty hard not to find a sale.
100%.
Like, I believe everybody who, as long as you just work a full day, like you get that 8:30 knock.
Mm-hmm.
It's the sun is going down and you knock one more door, dude, you will find a sale every single time.
Yeah, but the sales gods testing you, dude.
Sales gods are
Yeah.
testing you.
It's funny that we all know about them, but you go a whole day and you don't sell. The sales gods are literally just telling you, dude, one more door.
Mm-hmm.
And if you put in that one more door, 8:39, it will be a sale.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does your daily preparation look like now? I mean, right now you're kind of preparing to start the summer. You go out on Monday, which is like in a few days. What does your preparation look like leading up to the summer, and then also like your daily preparation? Like, how do you get your mind right for the sales season?
I'm a numbers man, dude, and most of me prepping myself is really just dialing into my goals, breaking them down. I'm sure a ton of people do this, but I look at the year. Well, I look at the summer months. Obviously, I see how many weeks there are and how many days there will be in those weeks. And I take my goal divided by those days, right? And figure what I have to do minimum a day. And then, again, being a numbers guy, I really take into like, okay, there's people ahead of me right now. I actually have to do a couple more a day to be able to break the gap.
Mm-hmm.
And really what it comes to is breaking down your 10x goal. Because, yeah, you got your goal that you want to hit for sure.
Mm-hmm.
But why not shoot for the stars and land on the moon? So I always put my 10x goal ridiculous. Like last year I ended with 538 installs, but my goal was, I think, 700 or 800.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what I was shooting for, sell-wise. And then I landed on the moon. So like I really divided those days off my 10x. I remember like my minimum a day, it was supposed to be like 7 or 8. I was like, okay, that's kind of crazy, but I can do it. So that's what I was shooting for daily. And if I landed at my minimum 5 that I knew I could do, awesome, because that was really going to take me to my sweet spot, my real goal. So breaking down my goals is huge. It's just making sure I know exactly what I have to do every week and every day. And then that really just gets me in the mindset already because I'm like, okay, I'm ready to go. Like I want to get at it already.
You mentioned too that you started reading books. Was that like a big part in your success? Would you attribute that, like a lot of your success, to reading books? That mental preparation as well.
Yeah. I'm not a preacher on books, but there's a couple good ones, and really I can bring up this. I think the superpower in this industry is visualization. That is one thing that really preps me for the summer. For an example, I don't know if you've ever done like a vision board. So I did a vision board this year. It's actually my first one I've ever done. I don't know why I haven't done it before.
Maybe walk us through what is the vision board for those who don't know.
Yeah, it's nice and arts and crafty. You just get a bunch of pictures of your goals for the year, of like what you want. This can be physical goals, financial goals, spiritual, mental, like any goals you want to achieve throughout the year. So I made this little goal sheet and I put it in my shower actually. So every morning, obviously, I shower every day. I'm looking at this vision board and I'm looking at these goals that I want. And it really takes me to a good place of being able to visualize, okay, what do I need to do to hit these goals? And they're always right in front of my face in the shower. So it's all I'm thinking about is like, okay, how am I going to get a car? How am I going to get this bag of cash? Or like whatever the pictures are. So it really helps me dial into mostly picturing the end of the summer of like, okay, how am I going to feel once I'm top rep for the 3rd time in a row? Like how's that going to make me feel when I walk up on the stage? And it's really capturing those feelings of I can do it and I'm pumped about it. And that's the big thing that's helped me in this industry is just visualizing a good year.
Gotcha. That is awesome. I have another question, but I want to ask it at the very end.
Yeah.
Maybe right now we can go into more like the sales pitch, the strategy, just sales psychology. And you talked about body language, how that's a big thing for you. I don't know, why is body language so important for you, and what are some of those like maybe intricacies that you've learned along your way?
Yeah, no, I'm sure everybody's been taught on this. They should have. But body language, it's 80% of the point across. And then 15% is tone of voice. 5% is literally the words. So once I heard those looking for the right word, statistics, I was like, wow, I really need to put on a show. And I remember just training guys. I'd just be like, okay, just watch. Just watch me do the door approach, but I'm not going to say a word. I'm just going to use my body the whole time and see what you think. And using your body the whole time, I've been told when we started, like, we're actors. Like, you really want to grab the attention from these customers the first 10 seconds. What easier way than just to freaking use your body all the time? Because they're going to be like, wow, this guy's moving a lot. I'm going to be focused on this guy, whatever he's saying. So body language is huge. I remember there was times when I first started that I was amazed with body language. Like I'd be sitting in the house and, you throw up your leg and all of a sudden they throw up their leg at the same time. And you're like, whoa, we're totally mirrored right now. And then you put down your leg and they put down their leg and you're like, wow, this is like, we're in sync right now. But once you get to that point of like full trust, body language is just insane to like be aware of, that like people are like really into what you're saying. Like subconsciously, they don't even know they're copying you, but you can look for those things and they're like, you're like, wow, that's awesome.
So what is the biggest mistake that you see new reps or maybe inexperienced reps make with body language?
either I guess you can use too much of it or not use enough. I mean, there's always a happy medium, but not using enough is obviously going to hurt you a lot more. When guys, I'm sure everybody's been taught good body language, but like having your hands in your pockets or anything like that, it's not a good show. Like it doesn't create a lot of trust. But when you are using a good amount of body language, it's just easy for the customer to concentrate on you, really. And I'm sure you felt that when you're talking to somebody and you're like, wow, I'm talking and they're not even listening. Like they're somewhere else and you can see it in their face.
Yeah.
But when you use enough body language, they're really more dialed in. And yeah, I'd say for a new rep, it's just not using as much as they really think they should.
Gotcha. Any tips for getting better body language? Anything that you've done?
Um, Probably just watch yourself in the mirror. It's weird, but I know some people like pitch themselves in the mirror too. It's pretty weird, but at least grab a mate and just say like, dude, watch me do my pitch. Just check out my body language and give me pointers. Because it doesn't really have to be far-fetched. You don't have to go all out on it and dance on their porch, but you want to be able to really grab their attention. So yeah, little things. There's little things in your pitch you can do for everything in your pitch for body language. Yeah.
Well, let's. I know we're sitting right now, but let's go through a little pitch real quick, and maybe you can show us some of those body language things. But yeah, so I'm the customer. You're the rep.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Be a little knock knock.
Hello.
Hey, how are you doing?
Doing good.
Good. My name's Noah. We're following up with all the satellite customers out here, Dish and DirecTV. Shows you guys are still using DirecTV?
Yeah, we have DirecTV here.
Okay, awesome. Reason why we're out is just a bunch of upset neighbors. A lot of customers here, they're saying their bill has gotten a lot higher than it was. That's why I'm checking up on you. I know the bill's gone up. You know where it's ranging now?
Shoot, last time I checked, I think we're paying about $140.
Okay, and that's probably for a good like 5 or 6 TVs then.
No, we just have one.
Whoa, okay, yeah, that bill's way too high. So our job's simple. We're supposed to check up on the receiver today. We're going to help you qualify to lower the bill and upgrade everything for free. It depends on the box. What box are you using right now?
I don't know.
Okay. Do you have one close by? I can check out real quick.
Yeah, it's just right in here.
Well, let's check it out.
Okay.
Get in the house at that point. Obviously, hopefully, it shows some good body language there. But
yeah, that was awesome.
Yeah, get inside and then immediately go to the box. And I know some people like to dwindle on issues on the doorstep. I've always been taught just go for the box. Get inside. So right when I get in, I'll kind of go over issues. I go, okay, this box is old. What issues have you been seeing with it? Instead of asking like, have you? What?
Do you want to go through a little like inside the house? So here's my box right here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so this is the HR44. Good like 10 to 13 years old. Big issues we hear with these ones are recording issues and other things. What have you guys seen?
Nothing. We haven't really had any problems with it.
Yeah, good.
It goes out with like the storms and stuff.
Good. So yeah, we won't have to worry about that then. So all we do today, we're going to go over a few things. Channels, we're going to make sure those stay the same. See if we can upgrade the equipment for free. And then big thing is we want to lower the bill. So do you guys get the bill in the mail?
Yeah, we get a paper statement.
Awesome. If you can grab that, I got to verify the price and see why it's going up on you. Do you mind if I take a seat real quick and just take some notes?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool.
Here's my bill.
Awesome. Okay, yeah. The 140 is way too high for the one TV. So I'll kind of explain what we do today. It's pretty simple. So we're Caliber. We take care of Dish Network and we work with DirecTV customers. The big reason we're sent out is a lot of people are leaving nowadays. My job's to keep you on the satellite. So to explain the industry real quick, I'm sure you know it pretty well. It's backwards. Old customers, they're swept under the rug. New customers, I'm sure you've seen commercials, they're royalty.
Yeah, they always get the good deals.
Exactly. So that's why we're here. So my job is to do a new customer promotion check for you. Lucky for you, you're already under satellite, you know how it works. With Direct and Dish, they're the exact same thing. My job is just to look at the Dish platform to see what they can do. If it looks beneficial, we'll save it. It's pretty quick. So what channels do you live watching?
2 years. Yeah.
Awesome. So yeah, You made my job easy. All your channels are going to stay the same. So equipment, real quick, just to go over. You got one box, so you'll get the brand new box on market. The big things you'll notice first off, picture quality is going to be better. It's 4K. This is going to sound far-fetched, but you can record 16 things at once.
Wow.
Nobody uses that many, but you can record a ton. Other than that, everybody loves the voice remote.
Mm-hmm.
You can press the voice button, tell the TV what to do. Super easy. So best part about the promotion, obviously, is the price lock guarantee. So your bill for 2 years, they can lock it in at, get $110 with all taxes.
Okay.
So every month, you'll be saving a good $30 a month. To the 2-year mark, you'll save good amount plus.
Gotcha.
So my job's simple. I'm just supposed to save the promotion for you. So just to recap, DirecTV, they're not going to do anything since you're an existing customer. Dish, they'll be able to get the package the exact same that you had it. They'll be able to get it to this price, and that's for the brand new box on market. So moral of it for you, Dish, they're going to give you way more bang for your buck. New box, same channels, bill's going to be cheaper. So my job's to save the promotion. So if Dish could get it to that price, 110 for 2 years, that benefits you, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so I've got the name under McKeithen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to just save the promotion for you. Then I'll go over my notes with you at the end too, but it'll be pretty quick. You'll be on the road to savings here real quick.
Awesome. Cool. Thank you so much, man.
Yeah, at that point, just fill it all out.
Yeah, that was golden. I love that, especially, I don't know, I'm definitely going to be rewatching that because there was a lot of things that you did, definitely like your hand, I like how you use it a lot in like portraying a new idea, but it was like in a gentle way. You're like laying it up for them. And yeah, a lot of the, like, I mean, the wording was great. Like, I love the way that you worded stuff, but it wasn't even the words that you were saying. It was just like, I could have not been listening to the words at all of what you're saying, but like gone along and agreed with you the entire time, which is crazy. It's super cool. So
yeah, one thing I'll just share real quick. One of the reps that I knew starting off with this, we called him the right man.
okay.
Because every cell throughout the whole thing, nodding his head. He goes, right? Like after everything he'd said. And I really took that and was like, okay, I got to nod my head more with these customers and getting to agree with me more. But yeah, cool little story because that guy was really good at getting yeses. So yeah, body language goes a long way throughout the whole pitch. There's no doubt.
It does go a long way. How do you deal with objections when objections come along? Like somebody says, hey, I've heard bad things about Dish. I really don't want to go with them.
It's my favorite objection.
Okay, so let's just say, I've heard bad things about Dish. We don't want to go with those guys.
Okay. How long ago did you have it? Or did you ever have it?
We had it 5-6 years ago, and they came in, they put on all this new stuff. They drilled new holes in my roof, and we weren't getting any of the same channels that they promised us.
Oh, crap. Okay. Yeah. First of all, I really think it was just like a bad experience with either like a rep or a technician, obviously right there. But just to give you peace of mind, I've worked with Dish for a few years now. I actually used to work with DirecTV. They're the exact same thing. The big difference you're going to notice is the bill's going to be cheaper. You'll just have more money in your account. Other than that, you're getting the newest box on market, so it'll be more reliable. That's it. In your circumstance, my job's to make sure the package stays the same. So I'm definitely going to check that off on the list. Other than that, install, I'll make sure the technician does his job right. They're going to try to keep it in the same spot for you. Cables all stay the same. All they're going to do is just unplug the old box and plug in the new one. One TV, it's going to take like an hour max. It's going to be really quick. But my job is just to make sure you're in good hands. So Dish promotion, it will do you better. That's why I'm here. So my job is to save that promotion for you. Just circle close.
Circle close. Keep repeating back. I like how you hit on those hot buttons. Like I mentioned issues with the installation. You hit on that and you kept going. I mentioned the issues with the channels. You hit on that. Kept going. Very cool.
Yeah. With objections, it's all just brushing them off and keep moving forward. Because with it, I was taught to is like the more you linger on an objection, the more the customer is going to think, oh, wait, this is actually a problem. Like, he keeps talking about it. This is actually an issue. I'm glad I caught you right now. So when it's just like a no big deal, I've heard this 1,000 times kind of reference, then they're going to be like, oh, okay, it's It's not a problem. I'm glad I brought it up. You covered it. Let's keep going.
Mm-hmm.
So
the biggest problem I run into, and maybe this is for more of the more experienced reps or guys who are trying to go really, really fast throughout the day, is not getting in front of the right people, like getting qualifying customers right away so that you're not wasting time with the wrong people. What is your process for making sure that you're not wasting time with the wrong people? Because like if you're trying to hit 500, 600, 700 accounts in a summer, you cannot be wasting time with people who are not the decision makers.
100%. Yeah, that all starts at the door, dude. Yeah, I'll always make sure I'm talking to the person that takes care of the bill.
And how do you do that?
Just ask straight up. Mostly if it's a wife or a husband, like my job's obviously to get the bill down today. Depends on the box or whatever. Usually the spouse will bring it up anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Just be like, "It's my wife's department," kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
will you still try to sell him at that point, or will you just like ignore it and just try to wait for the wife to come back at a different time?
Once you've done this long enough, you get good at body reading. If it's just like a entertainer kind of personality of an old man and he's just like going with the flow, then you can kind of tell like, okay, if I pitch this guy and I sell him, he'll easily sell his wife. But the matter of the fact is you want them both there. Mm-hmm. So most of the time with one-leggers, I'm setting up an appointment. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to come back after 7 today so I can catch you both, and then we're just going to see if it benefits you. Because why go through it, 15, 20-minute deal with somebody by the end of it, and they're like, yeah, sounds great, but I have to talk to my wife. And then you're like, well, crap. And then you got to go back and pitch them again. So it's way better just to set appointments for one-leggers, obviously, but yeah, just ask on the doorstep, like, take care of the bill? No? Okay. When's the bill holder home? Just catch them all the time. And with like qualifying them, first off, like a lot of stuff plays into qualifying, and it could even go off like area. Like, am I in a nice area? Are these people gonna have good credit? Like that's one thing. If you walk up to one of those just rundown houses, like hit or miss. Sometimes they have awesome credit, sometimes they don't. So it's with those people. If it's like a rundown home, it's zooming through and
get them qualified as soon as possible.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just like, okay, my job's just to go over the promotion super quick. If it sounds beneficial, I'm going to qualify you real quick and just see if you can get everything for free. So it's just zooming in through and then just fill out the order, qualify them, and then use the qualify as the sell point. Awesome, you guys qualified, so we'll be able to get you on schedule, and just assume they're doing it at that point because they qualified. So yeah, there's little things you can do for sure, but I'd always just say bill holder. Make sure you find them.
Nice.
Yeah.
I had one other question. Try to remember what it was real quick. Like, okay, do you pump yourself up going out to area and then coming back? Like, do you wind down like between doors? Are you listening to music? Like, kind of what is your day on the doors looking like?
I'm a little bit of a different breed. I've been told and I know it'd be beneficial to myself to listen to motivational podcasts or videos. I listen to EDM. I go out to area and I pump myself up with just hard music. And it's really just to get me like pumped about the day and really just get me in an energetic mood.
Yeah.
Is when you're in the car by yourself, like some weird stuff can happen sometimes when you're just like starting to dance a lot. But it's really just like being in the moment with the music and just like don't be afraid of people next to you at the light looking at you weird. Just having a fun time in your car, and you bring that energy out on the doors, and people are like, wow, this guy's having a great day. And they like really just capture that vibe right away, and they're like, I need to know why. And they just want to talk to you. But yeah, a little bit different. I mean,
I love it.
Out this summer, I'll listen to podcasts like when I'm driving out and heading out. But day to day, I mean, it's not enough podcasts for me for that. So I just throw on some good music, and then on the way home, I put it on a chill vibe. Actually, just chill music, just like, I don't know how to phrase it, but it's just like a good relaxation after a good day.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm kind of in the same boat too.
Cool.
Yeah, during the summer, like going out to area, definitely I'll listen, or going out for the summer, like that 20-hour drive or whatever, how far you're going. I'll listen to some stuff, but maybe like on the way back, I'll listen to some podcasts sometimes. But yeah, definitely more chill stuff. But I'm hard EDM. Like I have my Mickey Mouse house music.
What?
is my playlist. So you'll have to share your playlist with us.
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
But yeah, that's way cool. I wanted to ask about just kind of your purpose. I mean, we kind of talked about the what, and you have your vision board, and you know what you want.
Mm-hmm.
But what is it that drives you, and like why do you want that stuff? Why does it matter?
We can love that question. That's what all this job's about, is your why. Why are you doing it? My first few years, didn't know why. I was just going out, just put my head down and worked. But now, being married, wanting to have a family, you really start to dial in and be like, okay, I got to figure out my next 5 years to 10 years. And that's my why, is really setting up my future. One thing that's on my vision board is I put, do it for your future self. And I always think about that these past few years is I'm doing all this hard work to set myself up for the future, for investing, for my family, just everything that has to do with living a prosperous life. So that's really what my why comes to, and that's what doesn't even drive me, but pulls me through the day easily, is just thinking about I'm doing this for my future family. And I don't even have a kid yet, but it's really just visualizing me have a kid. Like, I'll bring this crazy story up. When I first started this, somebody told me, if you don't have a why, create a fake one in your mind. For an example, he told me he would tell himself, I have to go sell this amount this week because my mom's in the hospital. And if I don't sell that amount, I won't be able to pay her hospital bills and she'll die. And I had thought about that, and I was like, holy crap. Like, that will make me work way harder. So if it's just for you, it's not going to do much. But if it's the bigger picture for your family, that really pulls you through the day. And you're like, okay, no nonsense. I'm going to go work. So, yeah, it's the big thing for me, is making sure I'm focusing on family for the future.
Dude, I love that. I love how you said it doesn't push you, but it pulls you. It's like that magnetic. Like, that's way cool.
Yeah.
Do you have any last words of advice for maybe any new rep or any experienced rep who's just getting out there selling right now?
Probably told a lot of you new guys this, but follow the leaders. I really regret, as a first-time rep, not taking advantage of everything my leaders were telling me. Like, just little things, morning routines, reading, just everything that I was like not really tapping into. But there's so many things that I look back on that these guys have trained me on. That's why I probably become top rep these past couple of years, is because I'm actually dialed into what they told me. And I'm really just following in their footsteps. And what they did, they were top reps. If I do the same thing, why wouldn't I be a top rep? So it's having that mindset too. But yeah, follow the leaders. They know what they're doing. They've done this before. They know the ins and outs of everything. So really take to heart what they say and take notes. Taking notes is huge, so you can go back to what they said. And yeah, I mean, they know what they're doing. So
yeah, I definitely will watch this back and be taking some personal notes for myself, because you are one of the leaders in the industry, and we all appreciate you, and thank you for taking the time to do this podcast so the guys can get into the mind of Mr. Noah Sorensen himself. And dude, I really appreciate it.
100%. Yeah, thanks, brother.
Thank you.
Yeah.